back to the Crimson 15 Podcast. I'm your host, Crimson Sin.
And 15 PCA.
Be sure to follow us over on Twitter at C15 Podcast. Join the discussion over on Discord, link in the description below. And be sure to like, sub, share, and hit the bell for notifications. So, the next episode of All About the Orville Comments, where we go through the previous episode, read the comments, and wow, what an episode. There's so many cool ideas. Tons of comments, so we're going to, if we kind of gloss over a couple of them, just because there's so many.
There's a ton.
Yeah, because I kind of want to keep it within an hour, but we'll see how it goes. And we start with the most popular comment and move on down. We start with Stephen Klein. I noticed Yamfit was not captured among the crew. I wonder if he works to get the ship back. And then someone responded, well, we'll see if Yamfit can turn into Odo and save the day next week. He could be hiding in the ducks or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he could turn basically flat.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm wondering if he's going to have something to do. He has to.
Oh, of course, somewhere. Like, you don't expect it's going to come out of nowhere he's going to save the day, or at least do something to help get the ship back.
But here's another idea. Isaac is fully aware of him,
Yeah.
but he hadn't told any of his other buddies about it.
I think he is torn. I think his programming is trying to do what his people want and what he wants to do. You know, I think it's kind of a battle going on.
There's definitely, he's going to have an internal struggle,
Yeah,
I think which is going to come into play. Our next comment, Kevin Jones. Once again, Orville blows me away with its writing. Talk about unexpected plot twist. And I was really loving the horror vibes they had going on. Yeah, once the little guns popped out of their heads, it was full-blown Terminator mode.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, like, oh my god, they're going to... And they started killing people.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, yeah, this isn't just like a ship takeover. No, they have no qualms with killing everyone.
If you attack us, we're attacking you.
Yeah.
That's it.
The Soul of the Dragon. The Orville did a sleeper agent storyline better than STD, Star Trek Discovery. Kurtzman, take notes. Oh, who are we kidding? You're taking notes and still failing. The only thing they seem to have copied from the Orville is like its comedy.
But that's so out of place.
It's out of place in Trek. Like they'll just throw in like some weird, it's like a big knowledge delicious pie. That's not funny. That's stupid. But you can tell that they took
the elevator scene was the worst one.
Oh, yeah.
That was terrible.
Xena Trace. Just finished watching the episode and all I can say is I am not happy about being right. Fudge. I was shaking when I found the catacombs. This show is awesome. My heart's in a million pieces of the betrayal. It's so real. But I expect Isaac to come through in the end, and at least I hope he will. And that's the thing. This could end in a million different ways.
Oh, it's amazing. I have different ways I can think of.
I want the super happy ending where Isaac overcomes and like he basically infects them with his like feelings and like how he became attached to the crew so they could appreciate. I'm assuming something like that.
But the thing is, the damage is done. They still killed their own people. I mean, that's a billion people. I mean, at that point, if I were them, I would say, okay, we're going to leave you alone. We're going to make this kind of your zone, but you can't venture out of here because you can't be trusted. You can't.
It's tough.
It is.
Mage Grey Wolf. They are Cylons. The Kaylons were created by man. They rebelled. They evolved. There are many copies, and they have a plan. Kind of reminds me of what was it in the Matrix? They built too many, too fast, too strong, or something. But yeah, the similarities between the Battlestar Galactica Cylons and the Kaylons, you can see the
there
parallels.
is a parallel.
So they don't have the red little light.
Making the noise.
Again, Mage Grey Wolf. Those androids collecting data on the wall reminded me of the workers of Metropolis. Maybe they're like always working on that clock thing. Again, if you don't know what Metropolis is, probably one of the most beautiful silent films ever made.
Yeah, it was. Yes, people can say the Thomas Edison to the Moon was the first sci-fi movie, but this was the first true epic sci-fi movie.
It was. You look at the shots in that film, you're like, there's no way. You would think it was made like in the 50s or something.
No, this is made in the 30s.
Yeah,
crazy,
ridiculously beautiful.
Yeah.
So check out Metropolis, and you'll see lots of parallels. All sci-fi can be traced back to many things, but Metropolis is one of the beginning ones.
Exactly, and there's an anime Metropolis, but it's not really the same thing.
It's similar things, but watch the silent film.
Yeah.
F Cool D. This is why you don't fall in love with your toaster, and I'm just going. You're just going to get burned.
Dun, dun, dun.
Two speeches to come up in a real comment this morning. It's just. After you see all those ships they're making their way towards Earth, I'm like, I don't know what to say. It's just, my mind is blown.
Yeah, exactly.
You feel betrayal. You feel sadness. You're angry.
Yeah.
Oh, they just did such.
But I think it's even more with Isaac because he lived with them for a year and a half.
Yeah,
he should know better.
That's the betrayal.
That's betrayal. Not his people necessarily, but him.
Emmanuel Robertson. Having Isaac as a sleeper agent for 2 years has greater impact than what STD did with their sleeper agent story. Isaac is more important part of the crew, so when he turns, it hits home harder. For all the Justice League animated series fans, when Hawkgirl found out to be a sleeper agent, it almost hit home harder because what she meant to the team. Exactly. You people fell in love with Isaac. I fell in love with Isaac. I he has to get redeemed because I can't like him anymore. Like
Boris can get redeemed, dang, and Isaac can too. Because remember, he was made for this purpose, so I don't think he was involved in that mass killing.
But I don't think he cares either. But it's oh my god, there's just so much.
I'm trying to find a way where he can stay on the ship, but it's gonna be tough.
I'm gonna try to figure out a way to make this thing work.
Yeah.
Chris Gunter. Everybody, myself included, were saying after Deflectors, is the Union going to end up in a war with the Mocklins? Then this happens. Talk about sneaky bastards. Yeah, I know. They kind of set us up with all these like Mocklin storylines about, these things aren't really meshing with the Union. Maybe they're going to have a break off. And then they do this whole thing with Isaac's people.
I hope they can get a communication out to the Mocklins and say, help us, guys. We're going to need your ships. Because the Kaylons, what they're done with us, are not going to stop.
And then there's a comment to that, a response to that comment. Persona X, Persona, I love that. That's a great RPG. As it stands, the Union will never outright come to blows with Mocklin anyway. The Mocklins are a prejudiced D-words. Yes, the attitude seems to be confined solely to their own society, but they never done anything aggressive towards the Union. Plus, the Union highly values the Mocklins bring to the table, sharing their advanced tech and whatnot. Even says that the whole point of the Mocklins is an allegory of how peacefully coexistence with a culture that's vastly different from our own. And that's what it all comes down to. They're not forcing any other people to do it. It's terrible.
It's kind of funny when you see the Union. I know, it seems different from the Federation. Like, every time they talk to an Admiral, it's like, oh, well, we need them for this and that. It's like, it's kind of weird. It doesn't feel like, they live in peaceful coexistence, but it seems to be like, we got to get something out of this. I don't know. It seems a little different than we would see in Star Trek.
It feels a little more gritty. Feels a little more real.
Yeah, it does.
But Nicholas H., I believe there is an emissary. I believe he was the emissary too because of his special emissary model, like no gun eyes. Like, do you think Isaac has? Because when they opened up his face, it looked like he just had.
I don't think he does. I think he was made to talk to the Union specifically.
Yeah, because also this Francisco Carvalho responded to that comment saying that, and also they didn't want the pesky biologicals potentially hacking Isaac and finding out of their little plan. So you probably had just his protocols and nothing else. So just technically, if they did look inside of him, they wouldn't find those weapons or any of the other plans.
But I think he knew the whole time, though.
It's weird. I'm sure he's aware, but I doubt he didn't have it like in his subroutines or whatever because he can't act on it. Nico Stefan, Yamfit could upload a virus to save the Union. And how about you put a medal on that body of gelatinous life form? Yamfit could come through and be the hero. That could happen.
Awesome. That'd be awesome.
I hope it's a shipwide effort. A lot of people do a lot of little things.
I hope so too.
So everyone's involved.
Yeah.
Gregatron 11. I think Isaac dropped the drawing as a breadcrumb because he wanted to tell the crew about the genocide, but he knew if the other Xylons would deactivate him, he would have the responsibility for messing up their plans. Here's the thing.
I don't think so.
There's a couple more comments that go along that theory that Isaac dropped it on purpose, knowing they would.
That's assuming a lot.
That's a lot. And
you're trying to find the good in Isaac right now, and I don't think he.
So you have to think he calculated dropping in that hallway, knowing Finn's son Ty.
Yeah.
Ty would find it. Ty would sneak off the ship. Ty would somehow find the underground catacomb. There's too many steps. There's way too many.
Now, if he sent a hidden message in the Orville computers that told them like
something about tunnels or something,
Tunny, go down. That's different, but there was no such thing as that.
Oh, there's an energy burst down below the ground. Oh, maybe we'll check it out. And that was something Isaac said.
Yeah, but that would be different, guys. No, you're assuming too much.
I love the effing.
I think they're being cloudy because they love Isaac. I like him too. I'm just glad Boris is my favorite, so it's like,
Max Bootstrap. What an amazing episode. I hope everyone realizes it could easily have been a season-ending cliffhanger, and we would all have to wait nearly a freaking year to see the conclusion.
Oh no!
Also, we don't even know that this is the only 2-part episode. Could even be 3 or 4-part episode and completely blow the minds of everyone. Anyways, what I predict, the entire robot race will be exterminated, and Isaac will be the key reason that happens, leaving Isaac as the only representation of his robot race. Probably at the end, with all his species and are already dead, Isaac will note that the Union dismantles him, and the humans will have to exterminate an entire species just like the accused robot race. And of course, the crew of the Orville will take it to heart and not let Isaac be dismantled. They will, I suspect, let Isaac rejoin the crew at some point. Isaac will truly become part of the crew because all his other associations will no longer exist. there were truly many ways that this story could be taken from here. The Orville greatly upped the ante with this episode, and I hope that it continues to up the ante. One fact that I'm almost certain of, Isaac will save the day, or be the key reason the Orville is able to save the day. It'll be shocking if this is not the case, which is I'm okay with. Me having even better plans, which I doubt. Here's the thing. That would be interesting that they do something that shuts down the whole entire race, and then Isaac's like, you have to kill us all.
Yeah.
So then they're asking the Union to perform a genocide of their own.
Yeah.
And that's
a fascinating... So I'm not saying that wouldn't happen. That'd be interesting.
It's great. I think it's cool.
I'm hoping that what would happen is that they figure either it's too much of a threat or they change their behavior and they go back. There's got to be something where it makes them... alter. I wouldn't want them to destroy a whole race. Is that even right? But they're going to wipe you out, I guess.
See, but Isaac will use basically that's the conclusion they came to on their planet. Oh, it's too much of a threat. Get rid of these whatever their original creators were. Now we're going to be doing the same thing to them.
Yeah.
But that does seem like a Seth MacFarlane type of thing.
Yeah, it would. I'm not saying it's not. It's very plausible, but we'll see. It's interesting to speculate about it.
Tony Jackson actually Ed postulates why do machines need longer to think. You can kind of think about maybe they're doing number crunching, but it's a yes or no. It's a very simple.
But that's what he said. It's binary. It's the most basic thing for a machine to do.
Rohetta, part of this episode did not make sense. Well, we'll take this one by one. Why land the entire ship on the planet? They could just send a shuttle. Kaylon's never said they had to land the entire ship. I think they wanted to see the...
And then also they want to see it, and also they're trying to put their best foot forward.
Yeah.
They haven't joined the
Union.
I think that's why they did it.
Why did the Kaylons talk back and forth with Dad about the practical joke? Just to shoot the breeze? Wouldn't that be a human thing for robots to do? I think it was the further deception.
Yeah.
I think that's what that was.
To make we're interested, but why is this happening? See, that's how a robot would see it, though.
Does it make sense for a robot just to throw a picture on the ground? His programming would tell him to dispose it properly. I don't know about that. He found it as a useless piece of thing. I'm leaving the ship anyways. Okay. All my duty to the ship is no longer. So it doesn't matter what happens with this picture.
That's what I think. I think he just... Whatever.
Yeah. How come the portal to the planet is open for anyone to walk through at any time without even any guard? Well, because no one's ever been on this planet.
No, they don't have any reason to think that way.
I think the crew, the Orville, had been the first biological life forms to walk on this planet since those people.
Well, we don't know how long ago they were killed. Was it a century? Was it 2 centuries ago? We don't know.
And it kind of remember on the Borg ships, if they don't see you as a threat, they just let you walk around.
Yeah, they don't care. It's
so I think it's kind of like that too. Yeah. Is it really believable that a kid would go more than 120 feet, say 40 meters under the ground in the dark, and even going down ladders to do so and never be scared? He didn't even appear to have a flashlight. Again, that's kind of, I don't know if that's being a little too nitpicky, but he was looking for Isaac.
He didn't care.
Maybe his determination to find his...
It didn't matter.
Hit that because that was going to be like his new dad.
Yeah, and also, like you said, the Kaylons didn't do anything because they're not used to that. Humans walking around because everyone's have a function. Everyone does their function. There's no deviation from that.
There wouldn't be guards and stuff.
No, it wouldn't make any sense.
And why wouldn't the Kaylons have killed everyone on the Orville? They didn't need them for anything. I'm pretty sure they're going to use them. Here, Captain, say we're sending an envoy of they're going to use it to further deception.
Yeah, not only that. It's weird. You have to remember when they took over the ship, they only attack people that attacked them first. So maybe it's one of those, we don't have to kill if we don't have to. Yeah. Eventually they're going to kill anyways.
Well, they're probably going to, just because, like they said, they want to just take over Earth. Oh, if you don't fight us, you guys can just go somewhere else. We're taking your planet.
Yeah.
So they're going to be like, we're showing our mercy to you.
Oh, yeah, forget you.
Yeah,
right?
I know, screw that. F your mercy. Anthony Fade, can I get an F in the chat for all the red shirts that died in this episode? That's a reference to...
Star Trek.
The red shirts is Star Trek, but the F is from one of the Call of Duty games. Like one of your teammates dies, and you literally have to hit F to pay respects. It's like an interactive. It's so stupid, and it's been memed to death. So whenever there's like a thing, everyone to show respect in the internet, you just hit the letter F. It's so.
And he did the double ones. He had the red shirts. That's funny.
Kirk D, this episode was epic. Can't wait for part 2. Yep, which is later tonight, and it's going to be awesome.
Oh yeah, it's going to be incredible. I cannot wait.
Brian McGinnis. The Kaylons apparently predicted that organic beings will eventually prove to be a threat, so they plan to exterminate their organics before they can develop more advanced technology and better weapons, which is probably what they came to. Like, oh, the Union's getting strong, maybe it's time for us to wipe them out. Because all they're going to do is killing themselves and killing other people.
Yeah, because they can't trust any biological life form, I don't think.
And Billy Deerhead, so we're going to take this couple paragraphs at a time and just kind of interject. A few videos ago, I commented that the Union had yet encountered their version of the Borg or the Dominion. I can officially retract that statement. When the episode was over, I thought, dear God, McFarlane, did you seriously have planned this thing from the very beginning? And yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
I remember wasn't it on Twitter?
It was Twitter, yeah.
Someone asked him, and he's like, yes, from the very beginning, I had this planned for Isaac to be the sleeper
I think he said,
agent.
in other words, got you guys. You guys thought I made Isaac so likable.
I made you fall in love with him.
Yeah.
You bastard. So yeah, McFarlane did have this plan from the very, very beginning.
Yes, he did. It wasn't something he came up with like last second or anything.
Where do I even start with this? One thing for certain is you can really feel the love for Isaac on full display in this episode. Everyone was so concerned for Isaac when he just shuts down for no apparent reason, being worried that he might be leaving the ship for good because his mission is over, and hoping that somehow, some way, he would be able to stay on board with Dr. Finn and her kids and become part of their family. Dr. Finn trying to reconcile her own hurt feelings with those of her kids, and really showing off what a great parent she is. The whole episode felt like a big "We love you, Isaac" celebration, and at that farewell party brought all the love together like it was a perfectly wrapped Christmas present. Then you took that present and mercilessly crushed it under a big titanium boot. Yeah, I know, right? The hill turns that McFarlane does are just ridiculous.
Oh,
it's just so good at it.
It's amazing. And it's all believable.
Mm-hmm.
And it just fits so well on the floor. You're like, wow, those turns are just incredible.
It continues on. I think that this episode really speaks to people's fears about the dangers of artificial intelligence and how one can mistake at creating a superior artificial race could end with genocide of their own. Ever since the first episode, we wondered about the Kaylons and got very little information about them while Isaac interacted with the Orville's crew. I can't help but wonder if McFarlane had this legendary hill turn planned from day one, because when you have a race of artificial beings in a sci-fi show, you have to wonder about where how they came into being. Someone had to create them, which leads to the wonder about the race. But yeah, like we said, he did have this plan from the very beginning.
Yeah, he did in the beginning. But it's funny that when I first the Kaylons from the very first episode, I thought, oh, maybe they just became like someone helped them along the way, and they just became their own planet. But in this episode, I thought, where are their creators? That you came to more focus the way they were acting.
Something had to happen.
Yeah, it made no sense.
As for what's going to happen in part 2, things really are looking bad. I have a hard time thinking of any way this could go back to normal after this. Never mind about Isaac rejoining the Orville, but just for Earth getting through the next episode. In Star Trek, Earth was a paradise and almost completely untouched by any force of evil, except for in Star Trek Enterprise. But that was before the Federation even existed. But in the Orville, McFarlane is free to have the sci-fi universe play out the way he wants. The Orville and other Union ships might be able to pull out a win to protect Earth, or Kaylon could devastate the planet and leave it millions, if not billions, dead. The Orville's universe could become like a post-9/11 world filled with paranoia and fear, which could give the show a way of addressing a lot of the present-day issues and problems. It could be a good for the show, or it could ruin the show. Who knows? The fact that who's to say will only be a 2-parter. This could go on for 3 or 4 parts. Yeah, again, this could end so many ways, but however it ends, it's going to have everlasting impact on the show.
It definitely will.
Without a doubt. I can't imagine things going, oh, let's go look at another outpost and it's another thing. No, this is going to have repercussions.
Oh, yeah, one way or another.
You're throwing a pebble in a lake and it makes a ripple. This is a boulder being thrown into the lake.
Oh, yeah. It is.
They continue on. As I was watching this video, it occurred to me that it might be a great way for the Orville to completely flip the script as far as enemies are concerned. It certainly is looking like the Kaylons are going to become the irredeemable villains, and just imagine Isaac becoming the primary villain of the show. Wouldn't that make for a fantastic villain? Someone who used to be their friend, worked alongside them, and even shared their lives, repeatedly suddenly turning heel and becoming the bad guy for the rest of the series. I think that would make it for an amazing villain, and the Orville crew would have a deep personal grudge against. As if the Kaylons started attacking the Krill, they might push them into becoming allies with the Union. And maybe Tala could come back to join the Orville as a Krill emissary. Wouldn't that be great?
That'd be funny.
That would be certainly a mess for Mercer's head. Because things are kind of getting a little bit easier with him and Kelly. Imagine if she came back, but like in an emissary type role.
Well, the thing is, Mercer will accept her with open arms. Everyone else is going to be like, yeah, we don't trust this lady.
But what if it's a whole Dominion War situation where the Romulans are joining up just because you have to do it?
Yeah.
Because we're going to all die if we don't?
Yeah, like I said, they don't have any god. They don't care about any of that.
I love the fact that we got to stew over this episode for an entire week before seeing part 2. It gives the audience a chance to really build up hype for the show. Maybe not as much as when Picard got assimilated by the Borg. Locutus. We had to wait all summer to see what was going to happen next. But I really think this will help the Orville even more of the audiences than it already has. Maybe even change the minds of a few critics and convince them that the show really is as good as Star Trek ever was. My only concern is that they might give us a wishy-washy conclusion for the sake of reestablishing the status quo. But given the high caliber of the writing that we've seen from the Orville so far, I seriously doubt that will happen. I think this show will, in some form, some major shakeups. And if we're going to keep Isaac from going bad, I hope that they manage to do it in a way that stays true to the character and to the show, and still manages to make sense, all while giving us a satisfying conclusion. But honestly, at this point, I'm kind of actually excited to see Isaac become a villain. Maybe even the greatest villain of the show. I'm definitely waiting for the moment when Isaac bids his final farewell, the soft blue eyes turn to sinister red with the rest of the Kaylon. Oh yeah, Bortus going after the corner piece of the cake was a damn good chuckle. I generally think he managed to out-Worf the real Worf. It's the thing, could you imagine the episode ending with Isaac and then it just fades to a red?
Oh
God, no, I love Isaac. I'm still gonna love him, but I'm gonna hate him and love him.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna hate to love
you'll
this
love
guy.
You'll love to hate him and hate to love him. That's gonna be either or.
Isaac's my boy. God, finally got it bad. He was my favorite.
That's what makes good writing, though.
Dinu 22. The explosive expletive, it's up on screen. I assume we'll be okay in the end. Hoping I'm wrong. Sorry about that. Let me kill that audio real quick. We had to know what he was all about and should not be forgiven. Hope Dr. Finn learned a lesson or incapable of love and real affection. Shiv should drop the idea from the storyline. It's insulting to the character of Dr. Finn. There were some people out there who get like, oh, she's supposed to be this really smart character. How could she fall in love with the robot and everything? I mean, come on, guys.
I mean, love, you can't factor that in. You can't, because her being so smart, she loved Isaac's intellectual, conversation she had with her and all that, and someone that could, was also, had that sweetness to him, because he did have that innocence in a way, and it's like,
again, people get off on that, like, ooh, whatever, but I like him. I think it's not insulting to Dr. Finn.
No,
she's an intelligent woman, and she even said that. Yeah, I know what I want, and this is what I want.
Yeah, exactly. Like she said when she first got in a relationship with him, and Kelly's talking to her. If this was Yampik or Malloy, I'd have red flags everywhere. But it's you.
Yeah, I know. Right?
You'll understand. You'll be able to handle him.
Turrican Rex. I wonder if that's a reference to the Turrican video games. But this episode was amazing. I like the idea of the Cylons being the big bad. I keep saying Cylons, the Kaylons being the big bad enemy of the biological life forms. I hope that this threat is not solved in the next episode and will go on in the future. The music was phenomenal in this episode. That's another thing. The music in this whole series, I got to get that. They have a CD. I don't know if it's even out yet, but if it is, I definitely got to get my hands on it because the music is so good.
Oh, it's amazing.
But do you think this will be will the problem be solved in the next episode?
I'm hoping there's a way they back them off, but yet they have to keep them isolated. They have to keep like a buffer, and then maybe they'll come out and they'll be ready next time.
You know what? Here's another ending that I didn't think about. What if Isaac kind of infects the other ones, and then Isaac gets a whole bunch of Kaylons to join his side, and then kind of have a civil war, red versus blue. So you see a bunch of their eyes turn blue, so they're on Isaac's side, and then you have them kind of revolt against.
That would be cool.
I think that'd be a cool idea.
That's a good idea, actually.
I like that.
I hope it's not just a simulation. I know it would be even better than to think that'd be kind of a cop-out.
Some people have been saying, what if the episode ends and like Earth gets destroyed, and then you just see Isaac. Oh, Isaac, what's going on? Oh, I was just running a simulation in my head, just going through some numbers, and he's like at the thing.
I hope not.
it's all like, then he sends a message back to Kaylon. Oh, too many losses. We'll have to hold off on our plan. And then we all know as the audience that they're evil, but no one on the Orville knows.
And it happens like 3-4 years from now. Oh, jeez.
See, I think
it's a cop-out. It is.
It's interesting, but it's a cop-out. Please don't let that be the ending.
No.
Romance fantasy. Why do computers need more space and territory? If they were smart, don't they use robot birth control? Yeah, I think it's because they felt like, we need to be the rulers of the galaxy. So we need more of ourselves. Because they know if they do go to war with the Krill or these other races, they're going to need soldiers and physical bodies to do it.
It's funny when Isaac said, it was a shame that we had to kill our builders and all that. I don't think the other Kaylons think like that. I don't think they even cared. I don't think they even...
It means nothing to them.
No.
That guy 2,000 or 20,000.
That guy.
It's that guy. Again, another doggy. I like doggies. There are more advanced in the Borg from Star Trek. All they want to do is kill, not make cyborgs. It's so funny about the Borg. They're so interesting, and it's, again, like a lot of people said, it's the ultimate fear. A technological thing coming through and wanting to take everything away from you.
Yeah, the thing is, we could have made that more of our theme when we talked about this after when we did a review of the last episode. But we didn't want to because this was so good on its own. Even that was just a backdrop to me.
It doesn't need a Borg,
no, it doesn't. That's what I said. No, it doesn't.
But again, I want a Xylon, Kaylon versus Borg battle.
Oh, they're going to do that.
That'd be so cool.
Guarantee someone on YouTube's already getting that ready already.
Nico Stefan. AI plus automatic Anuptian production equals the end of humans. If an AI is only logic is to realize we are the biggest problem on Earth, if it has emotions, it will kill us in a rage. If it has empathy, will it care more about the nature of us? Anyways, AI is in a way, is self-destructive. It's not paranoia, it's logic. And that's the thing. Logically, kind of like if you want to make a parallel to the X-Men, they built the Sentinels to kill the mutants, and they realized, well, mutants and humans are the same, and humans are a danger to themselves, so kill the humans.
Yeah,
it's the only logical step.
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, if they think, oh, preserve the humans because they are a biological thing, and they're like, is it worth protecting?
But the ultimate, you're protecting them ultimately by they can never get hurt once you kill them. See, that's the thing. That's just how the raw machine would think.
Will Adams, stunning. Move over, Cybermen, Dalek, and Borg to Xylon have arrived. Is this the birth of Skynet? Is this the why the Terminator films were never able to stop Judgment Day? Perhaps what Skynet never told anyone was that the leader of the Kaylon invasion force. This was the best episode of Orville to date. I personally never thought that the majority role would be topped. I find it interesting that Star Trek Discovery covered a genocide episode tonight as well. Interesting, while I was bored to distraction, but this version was so much more interesting. What a shame that we can't binge Orville. I'm glad we can't binge Orville.
Yeah.
I am so happy we had to wait a week.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I woke up every morning realizing it wasn't Thursday.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't mind waiting in between episodes, even if it's a couple of weeks, if they have a skip, whatever. I don't want to wait a year and a half, though.
Oh, yeah.
Let's not have that. Then we don't need that.
Like between seasons?
Seasons, yeah.
But
that was too long.
A week is good.
That's
how
good.
it used to be.
Yeah. I remember even people were singing, and then some other people were singing in our Discord saying how it made him remind him of Next Generation.
Yeah.
How you got to wait the anticipation with the Borg, we're invading Earth.
Harrison Smith, wow, this completely blows every other episode out of the water. Just wow. What a show of sci-fi. And when that to be continued dropped on screen, it reminded me of Doctor Who Season 4, that episode where the Doctor is regenerating and now I have to wait a whole week to see what happens. What a cliffhanger. Best episode by a mile. Do you think it's the best episode?
I still like majority rule.
I think how they end it is going to affect this episode.
Yeah.
Technically, both episodes are separate things, but how it
They're
ends
together though.
If it ends stupid and dumb, it's going to bring it down. But if it ends like on this really cool way, then it might just be number one.
But what's so funny? We're talking about season 2. Guys, I'm going to be honest with you. You cannot tell me, and I'm not saying that Next Generation needs to be done, as for now, is better. But you cannot tell me the first 2 seasons either Next Generation needs to be done as good as this. No, it's not. It's not. No. Not even close. This is season 7 of Deep Space Nine and Next Generation, okay?
The Master says, anyone else remember Isaac's red eyes during the Firestorm episode of season 1? That was most likely foreshadowing for this episode. Seeing Isaac as an evil in that episode. Yeah, remember how he was fighting
the Firestorm, the Laura and her.
Even though it was a simulation, Katana. And I thought, oh, it was just to be scary, but lo and behold, McFarlane peppers things in all his episodes. There are continuing plot lines and things that you thought were inconsequential things.
There were some.
They all go for payoffs. Yep. I love it. It's
like, so you think when Boris kept taking time off, he even did that in the first season after Batgirl, but she didn't think about it because there was no reason to think about it.
Yeah, it was just something in the background.
Yeah.
Michael Maloney. First, we have these hints that something really dark might happen to the Mocklins. Now we have Birth of the Killer AIs. Yeah, exactly. That he got us going down one path, and then he tricked us and gave us something else.
Yep.
I love it. McFarlane's just great at that. Lane Bubbles Fly So High. Yay, finally a sci-fi episode and a good one. However, there are some things that just don't make any sense. Like, for example, why are the Kaylons constructing physical uniform bodies outside the special classes like Isaac, who had to resemble humanoid for this mission? Why even transport themselves from place to place instead of placing bodies all over the space and switch between the main computer and the body in the specific location? How is their population growing exponentially if they assemble and disassemble themselves when the task is done? Why are they not building a higher below grounds or in space? They need plants or something, but why would they want plants and habitate biological life forms? Do they not need atmosphere? Could they just colonize moons, planets, and like Mars? That's what I said. But I'm thinking, I think they're building armies.
Yes.
They realize they can't just take over other things. I think their main plan is to destroy all biological life.
Yep.
So instead of just colonizing a moon or Mars, they want to colonize while taking care of a biological threat.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to do 2 birds with one
stone. And the thing is, so like you said, I can kind of parallel what you're kind of saying here and put a little different spin on it. They can go to like the unhabitable planets on the whole universe.
They can live on
There's going to be tens
planet.
of thousands of those they can go to. Maybe even hundreds of thousands, maybe millions they can go to.
I'm thinking there has to be the extermination part of it.
Yeah.
Because, and again, like, why build them? I think they're building armies.
Yeah, they're building. Remember, the Village probably built a lot of them to begin with, and they just got the template how to make more.
too many, too strong, too fast.
Yeah, well, that's so funny. When you see the one race of machines that are fighting each other in the Voyager episode, they didn't know how to build themselves. The builders were smart enough not to teach them how to do that. See, they know how to do that. So
on a couple back and forth here, it's up on screen, and I kind of agree, but also I think I'm not lame. Lame bubbles fly so high. We love every comment, but you always seem to kind of find it like, oh, my, this is so stupid. Come on, it's also a TV show too.
Yeah,
you kind of have to put that in there. It's not going to be 1,000% logical, but I'm thinking I'm giving my best reasonings.
Yeah.
Maybe we find out more in the second episode that
that's going to determine some of this.
Maybe they do need some type of biological thing to build.
Yeah.
Maybe there is something they need, so they couldn't just take over, let's say, a moon that had nothing.
Yeah.
Maybe there is a reason, but we don't know so far. But I'm pretty sure they're going to address it in some way. Toward Marcus Birkeland Jacobson. In Happy Refrain, Isaac was working on the time accelerator, so it's on the Orville. Remember that time accelerator from what, second episode?
Yeah.
First episode?
No, first episode actually.
So yeah, maybe they use that. Wouldn't that
Maybe.
because technically if you shot that at a ship, would it decay the deflectors? Would it work like that?
Well, it works on organic. I don't know if it works on physical.
Because it would age it though, wouldn't it?
Or remember when they used it on the krill ship, it just made the tree bigger. It didn't make the ship.
Because they focused on the tree. But I'm assuming if you pointed a piece of like metal, wouldn't it like age it a million years? Wouldn't it eventually?
I don't know if
break
it
down?
can work. I don't know if it can work on metal.
So I wonder if they even bring it up if it comes back.
I don't know. It's interesting.
KJH. We are the Kaylon. You will be eliminated. Your biological and technological deficiencies is irrelevant. Resistance is futile. Anybody getting flashbacks to Wolf 359 or Sacrifice of Angels from DS9? I guess we know why the first half of the season had so many character episodes. Someone put in some overtime in the visual effects in this and likely the next episode. We're all speculating about 50 possible outcomes. Now, which one? How do we get there? This has truly raised the bar on this one. My only real gripe is how Ty got through the exterior hatch so easily. Yeah, like he just boop, 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 and he got through it. Like, he should have... Maybe he knew his mom's passcodes.
He's a smart kid, and they always mention he's smart, so...
Van4LL, this is just a dream of sorts of Isaac's, a test perhaps. Remember, we did kind of bring that
up. I
up.
hope not.
I really, really hope not, because that's so lame.
Yeah.
While cool, it's a cop-out.
It is.
Because again, if characters like Mercer die and Kelly die, okay, we know it's some type of
Yeah, but
thing.
here's the thing you have to understand, though. Like you said, it is lame, and that'd be the first, I think, I would say, little misstep for the show. I would say really kind of a misstep.
Yeah. Omar Kurashi? Again,
Sorry
I apologize if I jack up your name. I'm so sorry. So even as I'm watching this episode, the moment Isaac was deactivated, it had more feeling and emotion for Isaac than all Star Trek Discovery to date. Yep, even fake Spock looking like a nut job in next week's episode didn't move me. Yeah, I know, you care about the characters.
Yeah, you do.
McFarlane made me fall in love with everyone in the crew. They're all cool guys, and I don't want nothing bad to happen to them.
Nope.
E-Man, I want to believe that it's not really Isaac after they rebooted him. I'm thinking another Kaylon using his memories and voice. So, like, the real Isaac is somewhere else?
Maybe. No, that wouldn't bother me as much if they did that.
Maybe.
How do we know?
SJ Pace 1776. Hard to judge. 50% of the story, but this episode had everything. I honestly have no idea how this will be resolved next week, or what the fallout will be. Been a long time. I've been this excited to see a next episode of a series. Keep it up, Orville. Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to think. The anticipation is so much. Yeah, like I gotta know, and it's later today, so if less than 10 hours ish, we're gonna be able to find out what happens.
Yep.
Freeman 77. I knew I wasn't the only one who saw the Mass Effect influence. Hopefully, Isaac equals Legion, because the Mass Effect Legion broke away from the Geth and kind of became his own person.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if that ends up happening. I kind of like the idea of him. They're causing like a Kaylon civil war.
Yeah.
Where half and half believes that.
Well, we have to see the Union get damaged a little bit. We got to see some ships get destroyed.
I want to see a battle.
Yeah,
because we've seen a couple of like one-on-one battles. There was that big battle in Cupid's Dagger that was going on.
Yeah, but that was between other forces, not them per se.
But I want to see what goes on with that. It's going to be cool. Davey K021. Isaac dropping the drawing where he did was a cold calculation with the hopes that the kid would find it and go to the planet and find him, and in the hopes he is the one that comes after him, he would find the crime of the biological remains, blah, blah, blah.
No.
I'm sorry, I don't believe in it.
No.
It's too much. Too many happenstances.
No.
Isaac wouldn't let it. If he really wanted him to find it, he would have planted something in the computer.
Yeah.
Left a message for the captain, not a picture that he hoped someone would pick up.
I'll even say this, if he even wrote something in the back of the picture, hey, why don't you go underneath the something. I'm going to be here. Come on.
But why put Ty in danger?
That's
Why not?
true.
Why not let?
I'm just saying that would make more sense than what they're saying. Yeah. No, it's too many coincidences.
It's too many coincidences. Dimitri Yar, after watching this episode, I'm sure Orville definitely blows Disco out of the water. It blew Disco out of the water in the first 5 seconds.
Oh yeah, it did.
So it don't know.
Guys, there was right now it's gaining up on Voyager. Okay, it started getting to that point.
Yeah, and more people basically saying the same thing. Jerry Berglund. I really have to say, after this episode, I really ain't interested in SD at all. Here's the thing: I wouldn't watch Discovery if it wasn't for the podcast, and if it wasn't for the fact that I kind of want to know what that dumb angel thing is.
Because it's so ridiculous. We're seeing it. We're wanting to see it for the absurdity of it, not because we really care. That's the thing.
Mayday says, "Why would a single educated mom fall in love with the machine?" That part's kind of corny. See, a lot of people kind of hate on that. And then someone get a really funny response. Kevin McDougal. Well, she did it with Captain Sisko and a blob, so don't judge her. Yeah, she was in Sisko. He has to be in an episode, and he has to be hitting on her, and he has to turn her down. It should be so funny just to have that.
Oh yeah, it would.
It's just,
Avery Brooks is such a cool guy.
Avery Brooks is so cool. He's crazy, but he's so cool.
He's cool.
Crazy in a good way.
Yeah.
Amateur Overlord. I think there's enough clues concluded that Isaac has a plan. First, the episode starts with them playing chess, like a chess-like strategy game. Isaac easily wins because he's thinking multiple moves ahead. As Kaylons are able to remotely deactivate Isaac, so even if he wanted to leave, he could until he figures out a way for not to be remotely deactivated. Finally, the name of the episode is Identity. Isaac likes his identity on the Orville. He has no identity on Kaylon. This is literally referred to him as the emissary. He already has a plan to rescue his friends. Maybe he did.
Maybe.
Well, maybe there's that saving grace. Maybe he needed all these things to happen so he could get closer to the planet and change their minds.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a big thing planned. I don't know.
Maybe he needed to get them out, maybe from the planet. Maybe there are not as many of them, so now he can kind of devise a plan to maybe how control them or get them to change their minds.
And we got another person again. I just don't see it. Fractured vision. Isaac dropped Ty's drawing on purpose, guys. Going to call it here. Isaac was changed by Claire in her relationship to the kids. Those changes will somehow override the interfere with the other programming, assuming Isaac either is following along for now or is temporarily bad. But algorithms from the family experience, such as either will make him good again. If that's it, then the whole race gets imbued with those. So that's the thing. I'm thinking maybe he can affect the rest of the race,
or some of them.
But I don't think he dropped the thing on purpose.
No, here's the thing, guys. And like you were just saying just a little about, like, a couple minutes before Crimson, do you really think he'd put them in danger? Because he knows they're fragile and young. He would never do that. A machine won't even do that because it doesn't make any sense to them.
I just think that was just part of his, like, okay, leave everything behind.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
But having a plan to save everyone, that might be
at the time, it was kind of like, yeah, that was messed up.
That's super mean. Kids, man, don't do that to kids.
Yeah.
Dogmatic Cur. The shocking deftness aside, I have to say it's a great episode and extremely sinister in a great way. I have always wondered what would happen if the creators sense any artificial, non-organic life form needs to be created by something else at some point in their history, no matter how far they have come. And the turn it took was definitely one of the few options available because they either would have arisen conflicted with the creators and warned with them or simply outlived them due to some catastrophe or stellar event. What I was hoping for, adorable beep-boop custodians, a long-dead, hyper-advanced race, optimistic on demonic murder robots. Yeah, because that's the one or two options. Either the robots killed everyone, or there was some type of plague or biological...
Or they outlived them. And then there's machines. They can, like I said, they can live for millions of years.
Yeah, he was on that planet for 700 years, right?
700, yeah. So altogether, it's 702 years.
Isaac isn't totally lost yet, because even though he is painted as sinisterly as the rest of the Kaylon units... recontextualizing all the past interactions as something else with a dark revelation at the end, but it isn't all easily fixable from a storytelling standpoint. Since Isaac is an artificial life form and totally susceptible to reprogramming, something easily accomplished by a direct interaction between the deactivation Isaac and the Kaylon Prime, black box programming, etc. In fact, not only is it possible to do, I hope for it, but I bet it's going to end in the route where the story takes with Isaac being able to get back to being his old self and the old programming sense. Otherwise, I'd be one hell of a dark turn for such a beloved character to have him be a sleeper villain. Whatever the case, I'm excited to see how it turns out. I don't want Isaac to be a bad guy. Yeah. It would be amazing and awful and wonderful all at the same time. I love him too much.
Here's the thing too, guys. Okay, so he was made for this thing, so we don't know how long he's been around. He's been around humanoids for 702 years. You're telling me that didn't affect him at all? That he doesn't have affinity for humanity, or at least, humanoids and all that. In some way? Come on.
Like you said, they go. What Dr. Finn asked him, like, you're saying we can't cohabitate?
He didn't say anything.
Because he believes it. Because it can happen. You've seen it happen multiple times. Yeah. Leslie Mingo. This episode of Orville reminds me of the book about artificial intelligence turning it against the humans and killing them all. Mr. Potato Head, LOL. That was funny that they brought that up.
And then it's like, I can't believe you told them that. We're so fired. This is stupid.
But yeah, that's always a fear of humanity. That something that has no emotions will take over us because of our emotions. Yeah. Even though we created them.
Because, we want more efficiency. They can take over all these jobs, and then it starts to become, they gain a sentience, basically.
Travis Marshall. I see a possible Hugh scenario. Hugh being the Borg from the introductional individuality to the Borg collective in Next Generation. Isaac being of his Finn relationship made miscalculations. So if the crew or Isaac himself can introduce similar paradoxical data by the Kaylons, such as conflicting data, could send them into an unfocused chaos, leaving them vulnerable. Or the Kaylons observe the need to consume knowledge, find Boris's porn virus dormant, and yeah, exactly. Do you think that might play into it?
It might. Or maybe Yempit activates it.
Or maybe they use it to slow them down. Yeah. I hope it doesn't solve the problem, but it's enough way to kind of slow their shit down.
Maybe there'll be some, like I said, multiple things will be happening at once to try to slow them down.
It overloads their systems with pornography.
That'd be funny.
He continues on, ladies and gentlemen. What I'm about to say didn't come easy, but we've seen specks of itself. The Orville has apparently been taken over, conquered, if you will, by a master race of robots. It's difficult to tell from this vantage point wherever you will be consumed by a captive Earthmen or merely enslave them. One thing's for certain, there is no stopping them. The Kaylon will be here soon. I, for one, welcome our new overlords. Yeah. But it's great. It's just great. It's so much fun.
It's amazing writing.
Kevin Thomas, don't date robots. Yeah, you don't date the robots. They're going to turn on you. Caveat Lecter. This episode pretty much had every single nail on the proverbial heads. Even if the stories were kind of seen before in various flavors, however, the fact that Isaac has been part of the crew for the very beginning makes it apparent betrayal all more impactful and calls into question if he was fully aware of his mission or goal or just given the general parameters necessary to carry it out without all the details. The thing with Isaac is that he is the ultimate poker face, so absolutely impossible to know anything about him, his inner self, if he has any, until he reacts to a situation that impacts his mission. Assuming that he does have an android equivalent of emotional attachment to the Union, the Orville's crew, and to Claire and her boys specifically, and the ability to withhold information, inner thoughts from other Kaylons, he still needs to maintain the illusion of cold detachment. At least he's remotely deactivated by his kin again, which in case he'd be 100% prevented from helping them. So his actions were totally logical in order to keep himself in the position to save the day once he's able to sever his connection and become an independent entity. Identity Part 1, equivalent to Next Generation's The Best of Both Worlds Part 1, how impactful and foreboding it was, except that unlike Next Generation, the Orville's prior seasons did not suck. Well, that's the thing about the Next Generation. It took a long time for it to really
It took about season 3.
And it took 2-3 episodes for Orville to hit the ground running.
Oh, yeah.
But do you think it's all set up and Isaac has a plan?
Well, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. A lot of people that were kind of saying, well, maybe, he didn't know. Here's the thing. If he only knew, he didn't know the information about, and I'm just thinking this right now, that they didn't want peaceful coexistence with the Union or join the Union. Here's the thing. I think is if he would have to know that because if he knew about the mass genocide, how would they have the coexistence with any biological life form if he knew that?
Yeah.
See, there's no way. Oh, we kill all our buildings, but now we want peace. Like, yeah, no, I don't buy that.
Just Sheldon. This is the best episode of the Orville ever, so hopefully next week's episode tops it. This is up there with the great TV show plot twists of all time. I understand why Isaac's race feels this way because individual, we never want to be limited, and we want a way, and we would want to stop anyone from limiting us. And as a cybernetic race of organic life forms may feel short of a way of having a machine being a superior race, even though they are about equality. People still have preconceived notions about certain stuff. I can't wait to learn about the actual reason of why they committed genocide. I was expecting, I wasn't expecting this. That's the thing. Maybe I kind of want to see what happened. Did they go to a war? Did they say, oh, we're going to shut you all down? Like, oh no, we have our own sentience. They're not going to let us shut us down because in all.
But they don't explain all the details.
Yeah, we don't know the details. Will we ever get the details?
I don't know.
Maybe we do. Maybe we won't. But we have another episode to figure it out. But I doubt it's going to be just all action. There's got to be some
build up
moments.
Yeah.
Dagu, man. This may be as strong, but are basically computers, and what can affect them most are computer viruses. Isaac could infect the collective like in Star Trek Voyager, where the future Captain Janeway infects herself as an extremely powerful computer virus and then gets assimilated into the collective, in which destroys the collective's links or something along that line. And they could do that. I think I could see that happening, but it seems a little too easy. McFarlane is going to have some type
Well, the thing, but remember, because you have to remember, the Borg will take biological life forms and put it with their inorganic bodies, basically. Well, they don't have any connection like that.
Yeah, so I don't know how they would do that.
Yeah.
Unless Isaac infects himself.
Maybe.
Oh my God, that was amazing, Kevin Jones. Yeah, it was. It really was. Peter Simon. Wow, that's all I can say. If that's all you got, I take that.
Oh my, this is one of the few times I totally agree with you. I was blown away.
Malon Koth? May Koth? I think the other Kaylons tampered with Isaac's face engines. They basically reset him to factory standards, trying to remove the anomalies in his programming. The anomalies being, of course, his emotional growth with the crew. Isaac, knowing this would happen, somehow protected his emotional subroutines, perhaps storing them in the ship's computer. He'll eventually contact Claire and convince her of what happened and get the crew help and re-download himself into his body so he can save the day. I expect he'll figure out a way to deactivate the whole Kaylon race.
That's an interesting plot. Well, you guys are coming with some interesting plots I didn't even think of.
Wouldn't it be cool if he and Isaac may not come back in a body, but he's the ship's computer?
But he did that one time before.
I think that'd be cool.
Wouldn't it be funny, like all of a sudden he's just acting like, oh, he's really bad, and all of a sudden something happens, or he's like with maybe talking to Mercer and they're kind of alone or something, and then that little recording saying, oh, this is me recording. I had to take out my emotional subroutines from before.
And then it takes back over.
Yeah, it's going to come back over. You just have to do this and that or something. Like, wouldn't that be cool?
I think that'd be a cool way to do it.
Yeah, it's like a pre-recording, yeah.
Mocha Smiley. If both species on the planet were biological and the winner changed the Kaylons, wouldn't that make the outcome different? Here's the thing: we don't know. We don't know what happened.
No.
We just have that basic thing saying it was either them or us.
What's so funny? They lied somewhere. Why don't they just say they died naturally? They just got old and they all just died.
But they're not going to lie because they don't see.
Yeah, I know exactly.
Rohetta, Isaac needs to be the one to save the day so he can redeem himself. If someone else does it, will be very disappointing. I love Isaac with all my heart, and I want him to be at least part of the solution.
But we know him fun. There's a possibility he could stay evil, though.
Emperor Turbonavis?
Love that
My
name.
theory that will happen in the part 2 of Identity. I think Isaac knows something inside and will eventually win out and save the day. In order to redeem Isaac, whatever he does will help save the ship, the entire crew, and maybe even Earth. This will override the fact that the security personnel and other were murdered by the Kaylons. There will be people on the ship who will not be able to tolerate Isaac's presence because of the Kaylons did to their friends, co-workers, and loved ones. This created an unbelievable dynamic. Captain Mercer would really have some tough decisions to make regarding Isaac and his future on the Orville. Real chance of a subtle social commentary in the old Gene Roddenberry way. Thoughts exactly like you brought that up. People aren't going to want Isaac around.
No.
Because what if they infect him again? Even if he proves that he cut himself off from his people are going to be scared.
But here's the thing, though. He didn't kill anyone. He hasn't killed anybody. So it's like, he didn't do it.
Well, just like if a bunch of humans went on a ship, but the humans can't be taken over, though.
No.
So, he is an individual, but he's not an individual.
But again, that's that kind of fine line. Where do you go with that? That's another good man, I'm telling you.
Francisco Cavallo, wonderful. Best one yet. And let's wait until next week. So much homage to the Star Trek, but a whole bunch of sci-fi movies. The echoing trumpets, music, nebula vibe, a la Star Trek, The Wrath of Khan. We met the Kaylon, the Vergur, Star Trek original movie. Like the music, wonderful. Yep. When the Orville was navigating through the clouds of Kaylon, when the Kaylonites, what would you call them? Let's call them Kaylons.
Yeah.
We're working on
We're
working on the digital information wall, the direct homage to the 1927 original sci-fi movie Metropolis, where the workers standing in the great gear machinery wall with billions of bodies lined up, like Terminator, and of course, Kaylon wants to exterminate biological beings and make for the Star Trek's Borg look positively friendly. The Kaylons still pay a creepy respect to their builders by keeping their buildings with windows such that they don't need, and neatly stacking their bodies in catacombs in the Europe Middle Ages instead of just incinerating them. Can't wait for next week's episode. P.S. People have mentioned that the red-eyed Kaylon that captured Dr. Finn's children was Isaac pretending to be another Kaylon to put them into safe storage. That might be explaining his unnatural haste in sitting down at his station when the ship was taken over by his people. Isaac might contaminate his people with his programming since they have a shared personality in a wireless way. Oh, the waiting. It's killing me. Thanks, guys. No, you're welcome. We love doing these shows.
Yeah.
And we love doing the reviews.
I love that red. I think that's interesting.
Again, there's so many cool ways this can go.
Yeah.
This could be a 5-hour episode. This could be a freaking movie.
Because you have to remember, you know what, my goodness, I'm thinking, when they were going to the ship, they were all together. Notice that Kaylon was by himself. Mm-hmm. So maybe that was Isaac.
Maybe he made that quick thing and he turns his eyes blue and he's like, boys, come with me. I'm going to put you somewhere safe. Yeah. Don't say anything.
Yeah.
Then he ran to a station. That makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
That makes a ton of sense.
Wow, I hope that's the case. So many good ideas.
Aaron Barlow. Wait until the Admiral who allowed Ed to go to Kaylon to find out what happens. He'll lose his job and Earth survives. It's going to be, that's kind of like oh, damn it.
Sorry.
But how is he supposed to know? He can't know what he can.
Yeah, and remember, they deactivated Isaac, so.
Honky McCoy. That's funny. Kind of wondering, when Isaac was reactivated, did something hinder him from being able to, in a sense, care and feel for his crew as he can in his own way? And maybe his hesitation is him trying to fight whatever they did to him when they reactivated it. They would see his care for them as an imperfection. Because remember, they opened his face up and then they were doing stuff to him. We don't know exactly what was happening.
They could have downloaded a program into him or
something. And maybe he's fighting it in his head.
Yeah.
Again, there's so many little things that...
Oh, man. See how great this is? How many different storylines you can go with this? So many directions.
Mario, I think more happened to Ty in that cave than we saw. Did he still have the picture? Yeah, he did. Remember when he went to hug his mom and she had it?
Man, what a contrast, like I said, from the beautiful us, I think, to down here to something you would see in the Dark Ages.
Just Sheldon. The speech he made was a sign. He said, oh, you like me now, as in right now. So he probably felt that they didn't like him at all when he knows the access codes. I'm wondering if you watch all over the episode now, you can tell that Isaac is evil. If you go back to the very beginning, here's the thing. But he's not evil. There's no malice.
No.
That's the thing. You have to have malice to be evil. They just think they're doing the right thing.
Yep.
So, but all those plot points are there.
Yeah.
You can probably go back to season 1 and see little things here and there that would lead to the fact that but he also showed that he kind of doesn't care.
Yeah.
Because he's a machine and he can't care.
The thing is, you always have, I'm superior, that kind of, but that's what all Kaylons say that,
Again, I always have trouble with this name, so I always blurt it out. See Tyrola's art and comics channel? I'm naturally snarky, and I guess that they shut him down, though, because his last report made him sound rough, or sound rogue, and thought it was weird that the Orville didn't just out of the border and request to enter the space. Almost got killed even with the Admiral's warning. And I darkly LOL'd on how much everyone was projecting their feelings on Isaacs. Not only is he a machine, but who's to say that the species experience emotions like us? Is it me or is the crew of the Orville not a fan of taking precaution? Kaylons are capable of overriding your ship from space, so why did the Orville why take the Orville into atmosphere? Why send photos over communication when they could be listening? Why confront the Kaylons such as a horrible discovery and realizing they've been stalling? Why isn't this their safety locks or alarms to keep miners from leaving the ship when they're not evacuated? I know this is an emotional episode, it was supposed to be, but I thought it was funny in the dark humor way because all the biologicals wanting the AIs to care and love them back. LOL. Well, the Kaylons sure have a heck of a neck snap when they're upset. To talk about because they wanted them to join, they want to seem defensive.
Yeah.
Because if you wanted us to join the Union, why are you so defensive?
Yeah, exactly. Like when they noticed that there was a buildup of those other they thought weapons at the time, and go, okay, still scan it, but be on the down low because we don't want them.
We want them to join.
Yeah.
So that's why they did all the things.
Remember, the Admiral told them that too. You have to get on their good side
because it's not personable to do communiques through space. Yeah. He wanted to land, and I'm Captain Mercer, the U.S. The Union ship, the Orville. He wanted to put that out there.
Okay. I'll explain your point there. Okay, say like he did do it that way. I guarantee the Klans say, "Why don't you come down to the planet?" You don't think they would take the offer? Of course they would.
Yeah, and then the other thing is Ty getting out of the ship. Maybe he knew his mom's.
Yeah, like you said, he's a very smart kid. Like I said.
Yeah, so man, that's the only thing I got there. But our very last one, Tord Marcus Birkeland Jacobson. The Borg, prepared to be a simulator. Your biological and technological distinctiveness will be editorial and resistance is futile. The Kaylon's correction. We do not offer any biological distinctiveness. Furthermore, the calculations indicate the resistance would be successful in 83% of all possible outcomes. However, we have concluded that yet the extensive territory and advanced technology is beneficial for. That's funny because in some way the Borg are nicer.
Well, because the Borg will want you to be part of them. Yeah, you're still trapped in their own kind of version of hell because you're all one mind. The Kaylons want to get rid of all of you. It's not even about getting your technology. You just get out of the way. You just needs to go away. You need to die. That's
so
what we can do.
that's the last comment. We got it in under an hour.
Wow,
just
that's
under
amazing.
an hour and 5 minutes, but we kind of went a little quick. But man, do I love all the ideas out there? I love all of you guys in the comments. It's just great.
Goodness, you guys have me thinking even about more things. I didn't even think of some of these. Like, wow, that's amazing.
And that's what makes I say it in every single one of these episodes. That's what makes sci-fi so cool.
When it's done right.
Good sci-fi. Yeah. When everyone can sit down and we're throwing ideas around and I'm hearing things that I didn't even think about.
Yeah.
And it makes you think, oh God, that could happen. Holy crap, what if this happens? I love it. I love it. I love it.
Just suppose that to Discovery, none of that. It's all narrow-minded. Just one little thing.
What's the Red Angel? There's nothing out there to even talk about. No. It's just all blah, 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 blah science.
Yeah.
But man, the new episode comes on in less than 12 hours.
Yep.
Can't wait to see it. And we're going to have a review up pretty quick after that. And it's going to be exciting. It really, really is.
I can't wait, man. I am anticipating some greatness.
I really would love to see a lot of you guys in our Discord, because we have a section for Orville on our Discord server. There is a link in the description below. So join us there.
It's growing slowly, but it's growing.
It's growing, but I want as many voices and ideas and thoughts. There's no bad ideas. There's no bad thoughts. Whatever you think, just lay it out there and we'll talk about it.
This is why it's my favorite genre sci-fi.
Yeah,
it just
is.
The
genre of sci-fi is
cool.
Cool because it makes us think about where we could go.
Yeah.
And
it can go this way, it can go that way, it can go.
It is so awesome that we have this really cool show. The Orville.
I am so glad. Cool. Can you imagine if we had Discovery? Sci-fi might be dead. It might be on its death nail.
But man, I can't wait for the next episode.
Gosh!
After doing this comments video, I have so many ideas in my head. I need to see what really is going to happen.
Yeah,
I can't think about it.
I know you want to wait a week, but I don't want to see it like right now. It's been that week.
Yeah, we're a few hours away. But man, unless you do have anything else to add,
I don't know the whole thing. Oh, we didn't talk enough. We're going to talk a little bit about the Boris trying to get this.
Yeah, the little funny moments, but this is such a heavy, world-changing event. The Orville, the funny stuff kind of goes to the wayside.
Oh, yeah, it does. But there was also a deleted scene they didn't add, is when Dan was talking to the Captain Mercer. He's like, "Oh yeah, you like music? Yeah, you know how Dan is," and he's just Captain Mercer's like, "Okay, whatever, Dan."
Yeah, and we post those things on our Discord.
Oh yeah,
like in the Orville section, we post all the
ridiculous
little things from Twitter and behind the scenes stuff. Yeah. So yeah, definitely check it out. We want as much discussion and much talking about the Orville because it deserves it.
And we also other categories too, anime and it's games.
The Orville's worthy of the discussion. It just
definitely.
But I got it under an hour. I was hoping to do that because anything more than an hour I thought would be too long. But it's been great. Thanks for all the comments. We appreciate every single one of them. We don't have to agree, but we do get to have a discussion.
Yep.
And that's what really matters in the end.
That's amazing. And then if you have disagreements, fine, but tell us why. Just don't say we're stupid, okay?
Yeah. But a lot of the people, that happens in other videos in the Orville. People come up with ideas.
Because you're getting I hate to say it, it's the more sophisticated.
Yeah, the Orville has the more sophisticated.
No, I'm not trying to sound snobbery, but it is a little bit of that
because people care.
Yeah,
and I can't wait to see the next episode and the comments on that because it should be awesome. I've been your host Crimson Sin.
If PCA.
Thanks for watching.
See you later. Bye.
Crimson Sin here. Thanks for watching the video. If you're enjoying the content, be sure to sub, like, share, and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss a single upload. If you have any tips or story ideas, hit us up on Twitter at C15Podcast, or better yet, join our Discord server, link in the description below.